In this video, we're gonna start talking about meme coins, XRP, crypto regulations, the banking system, and funny enough, Sam Bankman-Fried. And the reason we're talking about him is because something crazy just happened. I am not kidding, guys. Sam Bankman-Fried, like I was saying, something crazy, right? FTX just sued Sam Bankman-Fried as it looks to recover $240 million from Embed acquisition. The long story short is that the guys at FTX at that point, because this happened just before FTX collapsed, that they bought the platform, didn't do their proper due diligence, and the company's valuation was basically made so much higher without any proper reason. And again, the FTX guys didn't care, that the new management is like, we don't really fall for all this garbage. If you check out some of the actual numbers, we've got here the Embed founder and CEO Michael Giles during the negotiations. The lawsuit further added that Giles walked away from the negotiations after securing a deal worth around $160 million and an extravagant and unwarranted retention bonus as an incentive to basically get it done as quick as possible. It gave the enterprise value, or I should say the platform enterprise value of $220 million with a $75 million retention bonus to employees. And this figure includes $55 million paid to Giles. And apparently these guys over at Embed were also confused as to why FTX was able to huff up such a sum after meeting with them only once. And I really now am regretting that I did not send FTX a little letter trying to sell a company that I just made, because apparently, even though they've been in talks for 6 months, they closed on all these numbers in just a couple of weeks. All right, then Ripple. Two interesting things. Ripple's CBDC platform to be used by 4 countries. Yeah, it's expanding properly. I'm not a big fan of CBDCs. Actually, better said, I don't like CBDCs at all. But I do think they're going to roll out in a lot of places, and I do think for the ecosystem, it's pretty nice that Ripple does it. If you're bullish on XRP, it's nice that Ripple gets as much leverage in all these areas as possible. Even though, putting in the back of my head that I'm against CBDCs as a concept because it's government control. They're trying to tickle up your butt too much, and I don't mess with that. I mean, we all know that the US government and a lot of these governments actually, they're quite incompetent. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys agree. Right now I'm in America. You can see I'm in Miami. But I honestly really dislike the way the US handles things, and I don't think it's going to last for too much longer, if I'm being completely honest with you. And it's funny how I see articles like this: Bitcoin price risk, US debt deal to trigger $1 trillion liquidity crunch, analyst warns. Bitcoin's price could drop to 20,000 in the third quarter amid mounting worries about a potential cash liquidity crisis led by the US Treasury Department. And now, I'm not exactly sure why anybody would say this is bearish for cryptocurrencies. I think this is extremely bullish because people start to notice that the system is just absolutely messed up. I mean, take a look at this. Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse blames confusing US crypto rules for flow of investment to Europe and Asia. A lot of freaking money is flowing to Hong Kong, flowing to Dubai, flowing to Europe, because these guys in the US know as well. Even Coinbase, by the way, they're moving out because they know if you stay in the US, you're going to keep getting smacked in the face. They're spitting in your face. You're accepting it? For a little bit you can, but right now, the US is literally, in almost every way, shape, or form, dying out. Once more, I love the United States for a lot of different things. And it's funny, whenever I talk about my Celsius system, people say, I speak in freedom units. And I get it. But in terms of economy, no. It used to be a freaking powerhouse, but it's not doing well. They don't want the people to get wealthy more extremely than any other place in the world, it seems, even more than China. All right, that was a little bit of a joke, but I mean, in the US, again, I'm talking about the US a lot, but it's the center of so many things, right? US presidential candidate promises flurry of pro-crypto reforms, and that could be interesting. I mean, I personally think all these things are just buzzwords. They're doing this because they're trying to get your attention because they know what the people want, but they can't give it to you is the problem. At the end of the day, all these candidates know if you're very bullish towards crypto, you're gonna get rid of some old heads, but you're gonna get so many more people that are thinking, oh, you're progressive, oh, you're willing to take your country economy-wise to the next level. And most people don't understand the actual principles of what they're saying. Anyway, it's just a couple of buzzwords like, hey, you guys want this? The people want this? I'm getting that done. So, I mean, It's all about what he actually can get done, and as of this point, we don't know. I mean, Robert F. Kennedy's name is definitely out there. He's got that for him, but I wonder if he would really be down to reform the entire SEC, for example. Reform all those different parts, smack Gary Gensler in the face, and get him out. Or if he would also eventually, as he gets into that system, get corrupted, basically. Or it's all just false promises. I mean, that's the narrative that I always pick here, preemptively. Little side note, there's a really fun freaking video of XRP that released a while ago, but I just decided to tweet it yet again. If you're not following me over on Twitter just quite yet, I definitely recommend you guys to go ahead and check this video out. It is freaking gold. It is too good. You might have seen it a long time ago already. I hope you have, but it's good stuff. It's good. So make sure you check out my Twitter. I'll leave a link for it down below, but it's also just the Dusty BC. And be careful with scammers now. Another interesting thing, this came out about 40 because I started to eat something minutes ago. The parties file a joint letter for a 1-week extension. No! They did it again! They filed another extension. No. No, I'm not going to do that. Of course not, right? I mean, that's stupid. I'd have to pay for it. And there's a TV right there. You can't see it, but there is. But that's crazy, right? That they filed yet another extension. Oh, let's take a look at it. So the parties filed a joint letter for 1-week extension until June 13th to file public, unredacted versions of cross motions for summary judgment and accompanying exhibits, which includes the Hinman materials. So even though straight off the bat you're thinking, no, more extension, more time, people are speculating that this week's extension might actually be so they don't have to do a couple things and it can actually settle within this window. I'm serious here that almost every single lawyer I've spoken to, and even here at the Bitcoin conference, because that's where I'm at here in Miami, there are people that are really big on XRP, funny enough. Again, I like Bitcoin, I like Ethereum, I like XRP. They're all different and they all serve a different purpose. I personally think XRP will make people way more money than Bitcoin and Ethereum will, but I do understand some people's visions that Bitcoin is the true thing and XRP is just a project, a company going for something. But I always like to nuance it and say they all have their own different purpose. It's all their own different vehicle. Bitcoin has this type of idea, XRP has this type of idea, and cryptocurrencies is just a overcoupling term, but truly they are worlds apart. Point being, however, that all these guys I've been speaking to, yeah, they're also saying that a settlement is literally around the corner because there's almost nothing left to say, do, or what. And the judge, with their wording, has been so close to it all this time that perhaps it literally is already done. They're just waiting for either again, that's a verdict from the judge, or they're just not releasing it because these parties are already in settlement talks. I mean, they're always in settlement talks. If you think about it, it's always a negotiation of sorts, but most of the time you're too far apart to even get close to some sort of settlement. Right now, potentially though, with this new order from yesterday or the 2 days ago, yeah, maybe we really are going to see it just now. It's going to be crazy, guys. Anyway, I wanted to talk more about these freaking banks. I've got different articles on it, and I honestly think the whole situation is just so crazy. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen tells CEO or banks, the CEOs more. Let's say it again. Secretary Janet Yellen tells bank CEOs more mergers may be necessary to save the system. And Balaji also posted, it's hard to fight your factory because, well, yeah, China is expanding. And a little side note, I didn't say this at the start. Ledger, as I said before, they're stepping back up a little bit to save their reputation. Not doing a perfect job, but they're trying. And that's because their customer support people, they're not giving people the reassurances that they'd like. So yeah, that's their main thing. It just says, our wording messed up for, this is if you are on Twitter a lot, you probably saw that customer support say some dumb stuff. Point being, however, Ledger, they are not giving up on all this and they're just trying to explain to people better how this would all work. And as I said before, I still stand by Ledger. I still like their products. The only thing is they should have worded and communicated things better because the way they said it, it's garbage. But the actual function, albeit that I think it's useless, it is necessary for the crypto realm in some way, shape, or form. They just sort of said it differently, more in the sense of, hey, for anybody that wants it, we've got a new feature that we're thinking of implementing. People would have said, oh, that's awful. But then they could have said either we're rolling out a new device that has backup functionalities, or they said, if you go for a Path B update, we're going to enable your device to do the blah, 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 blah. And if you go for the normal path, if you don't opt into the service via this very specific process of sorts, yeah, your device is still going to remain the same. That would have been a better approach, but that's in hindsight, whatever. That's about it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you press the like button. See you guys again in another one. Again, I'm waiting because I want you to press that like button if you enjoyed it. And if you're still here, write pineapple down below. And this is dulce de leche, not peanut butter. Yeah, that's about it.